Does eating fruits and vegetables mean you have to camp near a bathroom? It's a very good question. It's a very good question. I find it fascinating. I find it fascinating that the official urological position on urinary frequency is that if you are urinating fewer than 5 times per day, per 24-hour day, if you're urinating fewer than 5 times per 24-hour day, you are definitely dehydrated. That if you are urinating more than 15 times per day, not only is it likely inconvenient, but there's a good chance that you have something that is incorrectly referred to as a sugar metabolic disorder. And so they give a range of normal being between 5 and 15, with a target at that point being what? 10. One would think 10 would be the target if 5 was the bottom and 15 was the top. But according to the official urinary groups of the world, you know, the urologists of the world, they say 5 is the bottom, 15 is the top, therefore the target is 6 to 8. I don't agree with them. I think the target is 8 to 12, 9 to 11 if you want to refine it. You're going to really find that if you stick with the program, it's almost always going to be 10. It's almost always going to be 10. It's just almost miraculous how consistent that number comes up for people who follow the program. 10 times per 24 hours, which is once, roughly, every 2.5 hours. Excuse me?
What about number 2?
We haven't got there yet. This does mean that during the course of an 8 or 9 or 10-hour night in bed, that it is normal to get up and pee. It is normal to get up and pee. We have proof of this. Before alarm clocks, before electricity, before the internet, there was life on planet Earth. And a tremendous number of things about the night were discovered, including people having sufficient time to go out and name all the constellations. People used to get up at night and pee because they were in bed all night and there was time to do so. We've now confined our time to the absolute minimum, actually less than the minimum needed, by using alarm clocks. So we're guaranteeing that we get sleep deprived, which means we'll be more susceptible to the mainstream mass hypnosis known as brainwashing, marketing, advertising, because that's one critical aspect of good brainwashing is sleep deprivation. The other is separate you from your peers. We've accomplished that fully. We now live in isolated society. But it is normal to get up. It is not normal to wake up. It is not a requirement that you wake up in order to pee. That is not what happens. The sleep cycle is roughly 75 to 90 minutes long. You go from bottom, top to bottom in roughly 75 to 90 minute cycles. At the end of each cycle, you're back where you started, which is awake. You wake up typically 5 times every night of your entire life during a good night's sleep. You wake up, there's nothing to notice, and you go back to sleep. And you remember it as, oh yeah, I rolled over once during the night, or I rearranged my pillow, or I pulled the blanket up or pulled it down. That's about all you remember from having woken up. Unless during that brief moment of clarity you go, oh, and I have to pee. But you didn't wake up to pee. You woke up and noticed you needed to pee. And so you do, and you take care of business, and you go back to bed. How many times should you poop? I don't really care. Stephen, how often you poop?
We know everybody's wondering.
Everybody's wondering. Well, according to the doctors, as long as you are regular, it is normal. And I have had clients come to me who told me that their doctor said there was nothing to worry about as long as they were regular. Once per week, every Monday is normal, as long as it's every week. I'm thinking about people with 21 meals in their gut, wondering why they have a paunch. How often should you poop? Well, babies poop pretty much every time they eat. I have not done a lengthy study on what's normal. Typically, I find most people poo 2 to 5 times a day as reasonably normal. I mean, most primates can poop whenever they want to. In fact, it is fairly common primate behavior to poop on invaders from above. I mean, at will. So they don't try to get it all done now and be done for the. I think more important is to know that it should be as effortless as blinking your eyes, that it should fall out of you, that it should be clean, that, or at least reasonably, that there should be no aroma associated with your poo other than that of the fruit or vegetable that you ate, that the color should be something akin to the food you ate, that it should never be hard and formed like a log. It should just fall apart into the water and look like you poured fish food in the water, basically.